Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Bad Calls, Balls, and Brawls. Your host, 305 Sports Babe, co-host Miami Lou. 2 minutes late. That means Lou has officially gotten used to daylight savings time. So there goes.
I'm still getting used to it.
I know, but last show you were like 4 minutes ahead. I was so proud of you. And now 2 minutes late. So anyways, without further ado, happy opening day. One of my favorite days of the whole entire year.
Martins.
Yes, obviously we just got back from the game.
We literally just got back from the ball game a little while ago.
Well, I figured to have the show at 8 because now with the pitch clock and everything, I knew it wasn't going to be like a 3.5 hour game. I knew it's going to be in and out. We got in and out really quick, and here we are.
And even if it goes to extra inning now, they do bring back the ridiculous ghost runner. So
yes. If
the pitch clock isn't going to move the game along, if it were to go in extra innings, the ghost runner will shorten that as well. So thanks a lot, Rob Manfred.
Our favorite Bills fan in the house. It's been a long time. I thought Bills Mafia took you over, so it's good to see you.
Mark. What's going on, buddy? Mark is a Yankee fan?
I think he's Yankees and Bills.
I think he's
such a bad mix. Just kidding. We love you.
That's a bad combo. But Yankees did win today, 5-0, so.
Yes, Yankees won, Red Sox lost. Everything bad happened today. We didn't want to happen. Yankees won, Mets won, all like the Red Sox lost, Marlins lost. Yes, moving is a lot of fun.
Mark is moving. That's right. How's that move going?
Moving's terrible, Lou. Yeah. You lived at the same place pretty much for 13 years. I've moved so many times. Anyways, to baseball. Yeah,
he's a Giants fan, so he lost to the Yankees today. But the Giants had a really good run there in the mid or the late 2000s. So you're all right. You're playing with the house's money out there in San Fran.
Gotcha. This time in sports, there's so much going on. I mean, we're going to be on the show for like 3 hours. I'm just kidding. It's not going to be 3 hours. But this time, despite football not going on, there's so much other things going on. That I just love, truly, the end of March going into April. I know your favorite month is March, so March is coming to an end. I'm sorry for you for that.
I know.
But
a couple more days still. Let me enjoy it. Let me enjoy the month.
Okay, so continue on with your March. But right now, as a recap, we have the Final Four, which we are going to talk about in like 2 seconds. We have baseball starting today. We have NBA playoffs right underneath our nose. NHL playoffs. We have the NFL draft coming up, and then we have the schedule release. So
NHL playoffs have not started yet.
No, it's going to start. Going to start real soon.
And NHL,
so it's happening really, really soon. So it's a crazy time for sports. A lot going on. Then we have the Miami Open, the tennis, and then the Masters is coming up. So a lot of moving parts. But it is a great time to be living in South Florida. Of course, we have the sun, excellent weather. But we have 2 teams in the Final Four right now.
Absolutely.
2 teams in the Final Four that have never been in the Final Four, that had really no business and no shot even getting this far. But you know what? I'm here for the ride.
Yeah.
We have our FAU Owls, and we have the Canes, both in the Final Four.
It's whoo.
Oh my goodness. Whoo. I gotta tell you something. I have never used an owl emoji in my phone. The owl emoji is like my number one used emoji. I usually like do the heart one or the hands like this. I have used that darn owl emoji so many times this week.
It's fun. It's a fun emoji to watch, and also, it's fun to just say that chirping noise.
It's not a chirp noise. It's a hoo hoo.
Well, that's kind of like a chirp, but I would go around asking people, "Hey, do you know who's in the Final Four?"
Hoo hoo.
And they'd be like, "Who?" And I would be like, "No, it's hoo hoo." I just do that after every made basket. Whenever they went on a run, it was just so exciting to. And I even stumped you with who's the other. Let's see if the room can get it. Who is the other Owl team in college basketball? Who's the other team named the Owls? You couldn't get it. I have to give you a clue.
The other Owl team? Oh, yeah. I forgot it already.
It's on the side of your face.
Oh, the Temple.
The Temple Owls, baby. So, but the FAU Owls from Boca Raton, they are. What are you doing?
No, keep talking.
Am I still
on? We have a special guest coming on.
Okay, nice.
So keep talking.
Well, so yes, we got 2 of the 4 teams from South Florida. It's incredible. Are we still rolling?
Yeah, you're still rolling. Keep going.
Forget it, he's rolling. We got FAU in Miami. Do you know how far their campuses are apart? From Coral Gables to Boca Raton, how far are those 2 campuses? Do you know?
It's like 60 miles.
It is less than 60 miles. It is actually 46 miles.
Oh, the Rice Owls, too. You've got another Owl team. Look at this.
I should know that. That's right. And Mark, I know you're a Bills fan, but fun fact about the Rice Owls. the Miami Dolphins won a Super Bowl, their last Super Bowl in that stadium.
Oh, I did
Yep.
not know that.
Yep. So whenever we go to Houston, because that's on our list, right? You've never been to Houston for
No, I've only been to Dallas.
right. So when we cross out Houston from our ballpark list, we visit Minute Maid Park. We will be going to the University of Rice campus because
Rice University
University campus, because that is where the Dolphins won their last Super Bowl against the Minnesota Vikings.
Amazing.
So thank you for pointing that out, Mark. That's huge.
Yeah, so back to the Final Four. We have the University of Miami Hurricanes against UConn, Big East school, St. John's rival on one side. On the other side, we have San Diego State against FAU. I don't even want to hear anybody's bracket because no one's bracket is good right now. There is no one. Well, actually, I'm lying to you. I'm in this pool. And the pool that I'm in right now, a lot of people have the Canes winning because obviously.
Well, and that's normal. A lot of people did pick the Canes. I will say that I ripped up my bracket early on because I have Arizona. I'm a huge Arizona college basketball fan, and they lost in the first game on Thursday. So I ripped off my bracket that very first day. You kind of hung in there. You had Gonzaga and UCLA.
I did.
But Gonzaga got trounced by Connecticut. So I think it's only fitting that we show your bracket.
Don't show my bracket.
With all
what
these
are you doing?
red marks, like she's a bad student in school.
Oh my gosh, I got straight A's in school. Why are you humiliating me like that?
Just like I ripped up my bracket.
Where's your bracket?
I ripped it up already. I told you.
Okay, so you're gonna embarrass me on public?
Me. I think you should rip up your bracket in front of everyone, or I'll do it. You want to do it, or I do it?
I'll rip it. I'll rip up the bracket. This is what I think of March Madness.
There you go.
One more time.
One more time.
On the back. Oh, one more time.
One more time. You can do one more. There you
that's
go.
what I think of March Madness.
It's raining busted brackets
Actually, let's hold on. We have to stop the show for a second.
What
somebody very special came into the show.
Okay.
And I got to tell you something.
Okay. Let's do it.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Graham. Happy birthday to you. Graham's birthday was yesterday. He's officially 21 years old.
That's confetti for you.
It's confetti. We're sending it from the U.S. I promise you we didn't drink at the game either. We should have.
Sounds like it.
Anyways, Graham, happy birthday. Now we're like 2 days late because obviously it's a day plus. Right. So we're like 2 days late.
It's like Saturday over there right
Pretty
now.
Pretty much, yeah. So we messed up.
Happy birthday, Graham. Hope you had a great time. And I know what his wish is. I don't think it's Mark's same wish, but Graham definitely wants to wish for a Dolphins Super Bowl, and hopefully it's coming, baby.
Definitely. So, anyways, back to March Madness. On Saturday, the first game is San Diego State versus FAU,
right.
Which they already announced that game before the game was complete, which was very interesting.
They never do that. Well, look, obviously this is a very unique Final Four.
Yeah.
You normally have one or two blue blood schools in there, and definitely UConn is that. A lot of people are like, well, UConn's not Kentucky. Yeah, they are. UConn's a really good school that's been to a lot of Final Fours. They've been to 6 Final Fours. They have won 4 national championships. So UConn is that school. But the other 3 schools couldn't be further from that, as possible, because you got 3 teams making their first ever Final Four, FAU and San Diego State, which are playing each other, and of course UM. San Diego State actually has a couple
older squad.
But they have had one of the best players currently. He's hurt a lot, but Kawhi Leonard comes from
San Diego State.
And also, a lot of people don't know this, the late, great Tony Gwynn, Hall of Famer baseball player, tremendous athlete all the way around, even though his body didn't look like it. He played basketball at San Diego State, and he has a lot of records. So, but that's about it, as famous as they get. They're not a very traditional
basketball school.
Correct.
Graham says, I'll take a playoff win first, and I'll wish for a Super Bowl. Yes. All right, so for his birthday this year, he wants a playoff win. Russ Taylor, one of our favorite Eagles fans in the house. Philly plays tonight, right?
No, they played earlier.
They did.
They lost. Texas,
welcome to the club.
But listen, they won a division. They won the National League championship last year. So
Connecticut Miami game is bigger. That's why their second game. No, definitely, it's huge. And before we really dive into the Final Four, I have a special guest on the show. Somebody who obviously I know very well, who was actually at the Marlins game, who had better seats than us tonight. So I wonder how it was not sitting up where we are. I just want to know his point of view and what he saw down there and everything. This person also worked for the Dolphins. Guys, it's not like Dan Marino. It's actually cooler than Dan Marino. 2 special guests. Well, this one's pretty awesome. So without further ado, Father Manny in the
Manny in the
house.
house.
What's going on?
How are we doing, Ashley? Hey, Lou.
Father Manny, welcome.
Thank you so much.
So Father Manny was
I'm
actually
surprised you
the
guys got home
captain
so
for the
fast.
Miami Dolphins. He would travel with the team and
Mhm.
also be housed in the Hard Rock and, support them through that. He also still, you tell them what you do.
No, I mean, I don't work for the Dolphins anymore. Every now and then I say mass for the Marlins when they ask me to, which is maybe like once or twice a year. And I got to keep my mouth shut, or else they'll expel me for them. But I really don't care. I mean, it was just today.
And
was
I
just
heard you're doing the Yankee game this year because the Yankees come to town.
Yeah, I am doing the Yankee game this year. So I'm doing that game, and I believe a Phillies game in July. I'm doing the match for them.
Very awesome. So let's get right into it. We were all excited about opening day today. You came into my office playing. He had something on his phone, and I'm like, "What?" I hear this music.
It was like
down
the
the
oldest
hallway.
school version of "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" you could possibly imagine. Yeah,
I was like, "What is going on?" And he comes into my office playing this music, and I turn and it's him, and I'm like, "Let's do it." We're all pumped. It's opening day today. We're like, "We're gonna do it. We're gonna do it." We all get to the ballpark. Father Manny gets there on time, surprisingly, and like, I walk in there, and I thought I was in Citi Field.
Yep.
What would you say it was? 70-30, 60-40?
I would say it was 60-40.
Yeah.
When Garrett Cooper hit the home run, it was a lot of. I like that the Marlins trying to copy the pinch runs of the Yankees. No, this is the 2003 jersey. The patch is right here, the World Series jersey from 2003. That was from 1993. Anyways, but it was jarring. When I entered the gate, I entered the gates around 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and there was a ton of. It was like if you saw the first four sections going from section 1 through section 4, it was all like these light blue jerseys saying Queens South. They were obnoxious. God bless them. Kill people. But I remember when I'm Ashley knows I'm a diehard Yankee fan. Marlins, I root for them because they're my home team. Just like Ashley's a Red Sox fan, she roots for the Marlins, for their home team. And opening day is opening day. I can't be in the Bronx today, so I'm here at home. But to be surrounded by Let's Go Mets, and you guys are sitting above them, above those sections. Yes. Thankfully, shout out to Alfie Mesa, who longtime friend who got me. I wasn't sitting around a lot of Mets fans where I was sitting, but even me further down by the Marlins dugout, where it was exclusively Marlins fans. So that was
lucky you.
Yeah, I thought it was an 86 Mets reunion. I saw a lot of strawberry jerseys, Mookie Wilson. I saw Keith Hernandez jerseys. I mean,
that was a great team. That was such a great team. I remember watching them when I was a kid. That team in that 86 World Series is one of the all-time greats.
So they're saying about the teal. So actually now on Fridays, the Marlins have announced Teal Friday. So
that's why I wore this. Yeah,
our throwback.
Ashley was wearing. Yeah.
No, I'm wearing. We are gonna go tomorrow.
Yeah, and it'll be the teal hats as well.
It'll look
$45. I went to look for one. $45. Get out.
I know that's way too much.
The store, we went early to go to the store because I'm set on buying a Sandy jersey. I'm like, this is, we just last week we bought the Adonis Haslam jersey. This is the year I'm getting jerseys. Like, I'm gonna be the jersey girl this year. I am the jersey girl, but I'm gonna be like the real jersey girl. Got that right?
Yes.
And so I go to the store and I'm like, hi, where are your Sandy Alcantara jerseys? And they're like, we don't have any. I said, well, what do you mean don't have any? I said, what about your kid size? I give you no kid size. That's why I got you Adonis Haslam. Oh, we don't have any jerseys. I said, I went crazy. I got nasty. Yeah. I said, how don't you have any jerseys of Sandy Alcantara? He's our starting pitcher on opening day, Cy Young winner, and they were speechless.
Did they have Jazz jerseys?
They what?
Did they have any Jazz jerseys?
No, they had no jerseys. Only had the sugarcane ones.
The sugarcanes.
It was terrible.
The other thing they didn't do is they didn't give Sandy his Cy Young award. They normally, I know he's pitching today.
Well, because my dad and I talked about that. He was with me at the game. They gave it to him one of the first days of spring training because they couldn't give it to him today because he was starting the game. So you don't want to bust out. But they could have given it tomorrow night.
Right.
Oh, my
And tomorrow,
goodness.
Jesus Luzardo's pitching. He grew up a Marlins fan, so it's very appropriate that he will be wearing the old school Marlins jerseys tomorrow. So that's really cool.
So talk about when we went into the stadium. This is what they gave us. They gave us, for everybody out there, they gave us these towels that say "Make it loud." Oh, you got yours too.
Nice.
I couldn't translate the back. What did it say?
Siga la bulla. Keep bringing the noise is what it.
You didn't say that. You said something about a bull.
Oh, come
no, I'm
on.
just kidding.
Oh, it's a bulla. And they also gave us
the Marlins schedule, the calendar. So there you go. Oh, wow, nice.
We usually give you the stuff. Yes, all the stuff we get to keep.
No, I got my stuff. I didn't get it last. I got it last year. She brought it to me because we couldn't go on the day because it was it Good Friday or something like that, or I forget when. I think it was Good Friday. It was one day I couldn't go.
You had obligations.
Yes.
Something like that.
So there's a lot of bones that I want to pick. And
all right, here we go.
Here we go, right?
They have to do with the stadium. We'll get to the team in a minute. Stadium, go ahead.
So going there, it was raining, it was flooding. I just got my hair redone, so I'm super blonde and everything. So when I left, I got my shower cap. So here I am walking into the stadium with a big shower cap. He's laughing at me with a hat. And then I had the umbrella, and it was a cheap umbrella. And Lou was like, they're not going to let you in with the umbrella. I said, I don't care. They let me in with the umbrella. No big deal. So the store thing was the first thing that set me off.
Right.
Then the second thing that set me off, you got carded for beer. You're 40.
What?
Yeah, I don't get carded. I'm 13 years younger than him. They card him for beer.
They probably thought I was trying to corrupt her and sneak her my beer or something. I don't know. But yeah, they carded me.
Wow.
So you get carded. And then another thing, we're up to bats, and they literally have the Mets lineup saying Pete Alonso's up to bat. Yeah. I said, that's not Pete Alonso. What are you doing? I opened up. He was like, shush, shush, shush. I said, no, that's not Pete Alonso. That set me off. And then the last thing that set me off was the game that they play where it's on the screen where they put the ball in a hat and then they shuffle it all around. The guy didn't even have an opportunity to say it's under 2, and the answer came out.
Yeah, that was kind of weird. Kind of weak.
No, but that happened at the beginning of the game before they even started shuffling the
Oh, I didn't see that part.
It said 2 wins, and I'm like, 2 wins what? Because it's just it's awful. It was just
there's so many.
Then the lineups. I think it was in the bottom of the 7th inning. They had the Mets lineup with the Marlins were batting. And by the way, I found out it was they just said it on Twitter. I think it was one of the local radio personalities. Remember, we were talking about some guy came up on the Marlins dugout and started pumping up the crowd in the top of the 9th inning, asking for a rally while the Mets are batting and we're down 2 runs.
Yeah,
Randy Savage.
Yeah, it was Brendan.
It was Brendan Tobin. I think it was. I'm looking for it on Twitter. Somebody said who it was.
It was Tobin, Tobin from the Tobin and Leroy show.
Wait till you see how big they made the Jumbotron here. They redid the Jumbotron at Citizens Bank Park. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Oh, wow. Eric, good evening.
I'm curious.
Can I tell you, I wasn't impressed by the Mets. The Mets lineup does not scare me. I mean,
no, Pete Alonso went 0 for 4.
He's having a bad spring. He was awful in the World Baseball.
Max Scherzer looked good. But that's Max Scherzer.
Yeah, but that's part for the course.
He came apart during the last inning, gave up the 3 runs. So
right, can we tear into this team now, except for Garrett Cooper? I mean, and Arise. Arise also had a good game. They're going to destroy Jazz Chisholm.
He can't play the outfield. He cannot play the outfield.
He had a ball go by him, and it affected him at the plate because he was over.
He took a bad direction on that ball, 100%. Yeah. He should have cut it off. He took a bad route, and it cost him a run.
So Eric wants to know whether more Mets fans or Marlins. Eric, we spoke about this. You would have thought you were in Citi Field. It's about a 70-30 split. It was so bad.
But what bugged me was not so. We're used to having Mets fans and Yankee fans when they come down, but it's that this had to be done in coordination with our team because sections 1, 2, 3, and 4 were completely, because they were all wearing the same T-shirt, completely filled with Mets fans. The only way they could have done that is if they coordinated with the team. Now, I could be wrong.
No, they bought it. The guy said they bought the section. They have like a travel and fan club, kind of like the Eagles.
I would imagine,
They bought out the section. Yeah.
But they only could do that in coordination with the team. And now, I get it. The team needs revenue. Somebody says, I want to buy out 4 sections. You don't ask who they're going to root for. But if it was like this for the Mets, I don't want to see what it's going to be for the Yankees in August.
Oh, ridiculous.
Oh, it'll be Yankee Stadium. You'll have Yankee Stadium here for sure. You had a question?
It's obnoxious as Mets fans.
I did, Father Manny. So somebody, our good friend of the show, Russ Taylor, just brought up Citizens Bank Ballpark. What is your ballpark count? How many ballparks have you visited?
Oh, boy. Well, NFL stadiums, I probably have more than half of them.
Wow, nice.
When it comes to ballparks, I have to go back to ballparks that don't exist anymore. Fulton County Stadium in Atlanta, Shea Stadium, which doesn't exist anymore, the old Yankee Stadium, new Yankee Stadium, and Wrigley Field, Marlins Park, and obviously Pro Player Stadium, and that's it.
Okay, so
I've driven by a lot of ballparks traveling.
That doesn't count. But I will follow up. Let's stick with baseball first. Your favorite and your least favorite.
Fenway Park. Oh, excuse me, my allergies are so bad.
I mean, obviously old Yankee Stadium, but Wrigley Field, it's just
can't beat it.
Yeah, I've never been to Fenway.
The best. Either of you.
I've never been to Fenway, and it's something that I'd really like to do. But old Yankee Stadium, there was a mention about it. New Yankee Stadium it's good. I was there for a playoff game, and I was there for the LCS in 2017 when the Baby Bombers were coming up and Houston started cheating, but we won't get into that. But it was playoff postseason baseball, even in the New York Yankee Stadium. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
It's. I have a friend of mine who went to both Citi Field and Yankee Stadium the years they opened, and he says Citi Field is a better field for baseball. Candlestick Park was terrible for baseball. Willie Mays
there?
It was.
I was there for a Dolphin game back in 2012, but Willie Mays probably would have had more home runs that would have broken Babe Ruth's record instead of Henry Aaron if he wouldn't have played anywhere else other than Candlestick Park, because the balls, the wind, the
wind's just crazy. Yeah.
Now in terms of NFL stadiums, we'd run out of show. I always say is Lucas Oil Stadium. I've been to both Lucas Oil and to AT&T Stadium where the Cowboys play.
I've been there.
I like Lucas Oil better.
Okay.
Citizens
Because I have my own locker.
Since we do have Mark on the here in the chat, and he is a great fan. He's also a Buffalo Bill fan.
Don't hate him. It's okay.
Did you ever?
He's been there.
Any snowballs thrown at you, Father? Any snowballs?
No. Going in the best part, one of the best parts of going into whatever the hell they call that field now, New Era Field or Ralph Wilson
New Era, I
Stadium.
think it's called, yeah.
Anyways, the best part was driving in on the bus, because people would say things at you or make gestures at you that as a priest I can't repeat. I mean, nothing was better than a guy, doing the doing a bird and grabbing a part of his body while drinking a beer and smoking a cigarette. That takes talent.
This is in Philadelphia or Buffalo?
Buffalo.
Oh.
This is Buffalo. Philadelphia never had a chance to go to the link.
This year we're going.
I've been to the MetLife Stadium, which is the worst,
awful,
sterile stadium in the NFL.
MetLife?
Yeah.
Haters.
MetLife's terrible.
It looks like a tulip in the sky.
That's what they came up with. I mean, I never was in the old Meadowlands. Gillette Stadium is also, it's a nice stadium. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's like if you placed it, I'm in Coral Gables. If you place the stadium in Coral Gables, that's where Gillette Stadium is. Also, really bad stadium where they just played the Super Bowl. State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Awful stadium.
Really?
Awful. They had one Jumbotron. And when you're on the sidelines, you depend on the Jumbotron because you have terrible sight lines. And they only had one in one of the end zones, and they had one camera angle, and that was it. It was awful.
So we were planning on going to Arrowhead this year, but one of our buddies actually told us today, I don't know, we didn't talk about it after, the Dolphins-Chiefs game may be played in Germany this year.
I don't think so.
No, not this year. They already announced Germany. We're going.
That would be wild.
No.
I'm not ready for Germany.
The Dolphins actually opened up Arrowhead Stadium with a win, so that'd be a
yes, they did. The year after the longest game ever played, the first
Christmas
season was. Somebody does like the stadium. I mean, I was on the field. I was on the field. I didn't get to experience the stadium itself, but on the field it was. And also Raymond James is also terrible. The worst locker room.
Yeah, we just did that a few months ago. We know.
The visitors' locker room, I don't know how it is now, but the visitors' locker room, the smallest in the NFL. You feel like you're in a high school locker room.
Interesting.
It is at Raymond James. Worse than the Bills Stadium. And that's saying a lot. So
I'll be at Germany at the end of June. Germany is one place that it would have been cool to have like an Oktoberfest game in Germany, like the week of my birthday. That would have been awesome, but not this year.
Tom Brady, he had a game in Germany this past year.
Sheldon, our brother from South Carolina, the biggest Dolphin fan in South Carolina. Sheldon, what is going on? Bills fans are awful. Oh, here we go.
No, but and the thing is that the Bills Stadium is like a glorified high school stadium, and it's charming in that the fans are right on top of you. But if you notice like we played there twice this year, so you notice that they have like the first 3 or 4 rows tarped off. So the fans aren't that close to you. So no, I never had a snowball thrown at me, thankfully, nor any epithets, in any of my skin.
Did they announce the NFL international games? Not yet.
The Washington Stadium is also
RFK or the new one?
The
No,
new,
the new
well,
one.
not
The
the
new
new
one.
one. It's
I
30
think
and
that's also
good.
one that's possibly on our radar for this year, but I don't know if that's going to
Maybe.
depend on the date.
How about
That,
also?
that they always, the visiting team always overruns the Commanders.
Yes, I've heard. Yep.
They
And
always-
I've also heard that the Bills' new stadium is also not going to have a roof. I mean,
No.
are they nuts? Why would they do that? I understand it's an advantage, but
I mean,
why
it's a
would they do that to
major
your
advantage.
fans?
But, I mean,
Ooh.
I don't know. No, yeah, the Bill Stadium's around since '73. Just like the the Arrowhead's a year older. Arrowhead opened in '72.
So
Yep.
going back to the Marlins, I know we're trying to like
Stadiums.
not talk about what just happened, but we ended up losing the game by 2 runs tonight. Sandy didn't look terrible, but he didn't look as good as I was hoping. Our bats are going to be a problem this year if they don't figure it out. I'm
Major
tired of
problem.
Avisail Garcia already. I'm tired of Brian De La Cruz. It's one game in.
Avisail Garcia, boy, he's
Avisail.
got some making up
What
to
a
do from
bust.
last year.
What a bust.
So that's really, really disappointing.
Look,
and it's not
Sandy-
going to – Sandy what?
Sandy did all right,
But he didn't do Sandy.
Okay, but it would be
It's
nice.
the first game of the year. And it was no
Yeah,
decision.
it'd be nice also for him to get some runs early on.
Never
is he
gets runs
pushing
support.
behind? It's like he has to go out there and be perfect, and
Never gets
it's
runs.
hard to ask for a pitcher. So it's tough. You would have liked the Marlins to put a couple runs together while he's out there in his top form. Stinks.
So tomorrow, obviously, we have a 3-game series against the Mets home, and then after that, I don't know the schedule yet. 4 games against the Mets Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then we play Minnesota at home. Then we go up to New York, and then we go to Philly, the 10th, 11th, and 12th. So
I got some gripes if you don't mind me saying
Go for it.
Go for
So, look, you got to have an out-of-town scoreboard, right? I don't know why there's
Oh,
no
that's-
out-of-town scoreboard. Put it out there. There's other games. Opening day, by the way, opening day, Father, correct me if I'm wrong. If you feel the same way, should be a national holiday, right? Can we make
Should
it a
be,
national
should
holiday?
be off today.
Totally should be a national
I
holiday.
gave him a work note today. I did 7:30 in the morning. I had a note. I gave him.
Right.
I did.
So, but listen, it should be
It
a
was
day
from the
off for
Marlins. If
everybody.
it was from the Yankees, I would have accepted it.
Yeah. So you got to have an out-of-town scoreboard. I want to see the other games
Agreed.
going
I
on.
agree.
So that's one. Number two, you bring out Levon and Jeff Conine. Well, maybe they'll do it tomorrow, but bring out some highlights and put them in the old Marlins gear, where they had their success and their glory. And then the third thing is there was no signage of opening day. They put the bunting up, that was nice, but on the big scoreboard, they didn't flash opening
And they
day.
didn't have it on. They usually have it painted on the field also.
Right.
Yes.
It's just exactly.
I know it's an artificial turf, and we won't get into why we can't grow grass in Miami, but that's
Well, yeah, I got to ask Ricky Williams for that. Sorry, that's off topic. Anyway.
Stop. You have a priest in the room. Behave.
Sorry, that's right. But look, come on, you got to have the signage out. It's the pageantry of opening day. I want to see it.
It was
So
it was
those are
weird.
my
I'm
gripes.
still
but you
I'm
guys-
still on the high
can I
from the World
ask-
Baseball Classic. I'm
Can
still
I ask
like,
you a question? Were you guys there for that musical performance about 20 minutes before the lineups were introduced?
We passed by it.
No.
Yeah, we didn't understand what was going on.
That was
Awkward, weird.
so weird and so Marlins opening day.
Ugh.
Because the Marlins have done really stupid things on opening day. And that was, thankfully, there were, a lot of people were stuck in traffic. That's another thing you could gripe about, is that why all of a sudden, after hosting 100 years worth of major events on that site,
Yes.
Orangeville and Marlins Park, have the city of Miami and the Marlins decided to close off all the blocks around.
it was so bad. We
The
got
bright
street
one, I
parking.
don't-
We got lucky, but it was
Also,
terrible.
I was sending Ashley this. I spent 40 minutes in line for a hot dog,
It's crazy. It's crazy.
and I couldn't be mad at the servers because they were put in an awkward. I couldn't get mad, not only because I'm a priest, is that I couldn't get mad because they were just put in an awful position. And then after all that time, they tell you, "Oh, hot dogs will be 5 more minutes." I'm like,
Mhm.
you go to the ball game to eat hot dogs and to brought it with me and to eat $7 for this.
Cracker Jack, $7.
It's like, I'm like, oh my goodness, it was so. I missed like the fourth, fifth,
You missed
probably
a good chunk of it.
third and a half, from the third and a half to the midway through the third through the fifth inning. I didn't get to my seats until the sixth inning.
Wow.
No, you missed a good chunk of
They've
it.
got to clean that up. And coming off the WBC where they had record crowds, I just don't understand how
Yeah,
they
but
couldn't get
I went to
together.
the championship just like you guys last week, and
Yeah.
it was. I saw the concession line. I said, you know what? I'll fast. I'll eat when I get home. Do they allow you to bring? I don't think
No.
they do. People
You
smuggle.
can't. You can't bring. No, we can bring a
No.
water bottle
You
in.
can bring a water
You've
bottle.
done
No,
that before.
I have a water bottle in my pocket still. But no, I brought food and I've taken food and drink in there.
And the food there is terrible. I mean, I'll have a taqueño here and there or a pretzel, but beyond that, the food there is like the best food. I'll tell you. Where we went last year to the Nationals Marlins game, and we did a tour of the stadium before. I don't know if I love doing stadium tours. That's like the highlight of anything I want to do. I want to see a stadium tour. So they brought us to the PNC Club. Was it PNC or what was it?
Yeah, PNC.
PNC Club at Nationals Park. Amazing. And the food there, they had like pasta bars, pizza
Gourmet
bars.
Food.
I was like, Luke, can we please get a seat here? Like it was top notch. So Nationals Park, shout out to them. Their food is like amazing. But Marlins Park, we've even sat in like club and stuff, suites downstairs. The food there is terrible. So no, Mark, you'd want to sneak in your own food. Giants Park does allow you to bring in your own food and drinks.
Oh, wow.
Interesting.
That's my top three of ballparks. AT&T.
Oh,
I think it's Oracle now.
It's out from the outside. Beautiful park.
Amazing. Right on the water. You got McCovey Cove there. Just amazing.
We should have done here.
They should have done here. Absolutely, they should have. You know,
they do everything perfect here.
Yeah. But all these bad things we say about Marlins Park, you know what cures all that? Winning. If they put a good ball club on the field, they win.
They don't do that
all
either.
All of a sudden, the food tastes good. You don't worry about the weights.
I'm not worried about not getting a Sandy jersey tonight. I don't need the Sandy jersey tonight.
We wouldn't be complaining right now. We would have, yeah.
It's a rough day. A fun fact that some of you guys may not know, this is the first year in many years that all teams are actually playing on opening day. Sometimes they have it like the day before, day after, where teams get to open and start, but every team had a game today, which is a really fun fact.
Great.
But not the ideal outcome. Mark says AT&T Park is great. You can do so many things and not watch the game. A park that we went to last year that I've been to many times before, and it still doesn't impress me, is Camden Yards.
Oh, I love Camden.
It doesn't do anything for me.
That's what started the new ballpark.
Yeah, there were all these new bars, the retro parks.
Yeah, you just like the food there. I mean,
you
ate everything there.
Pretty good. The Pittsburgh one they say is pretty good.
I like National. I really, really like Nationals Park. This year, in August when we go to Canton, we're doing Cincinnati, the Great American Ballpark. We're doing Cincinnati and we're doing Cleveland. So we're checking those two ballparks out. The Marlins are actually in town for the Cincinnati game, so we're seeing Marlins versus the Reds. That'll be great. That's
a great little city.
Is it? Yes, Cincinnati, right there.
And I know you talked about it a couple of shows ago, but if you are planning to go out to see Zach Thomas be inducted into the Hall of Fame,
gosh,
you should have done it a long time ago, but you definitely got to do it now because everything
the
is
prices and everything, the salad. Oh my goodness!
If you're thinking about it, just do it. And Ashley, just
go to the induction. Don't go to the game. It's overpriced.
Oh, we're not. No. That Thursday we're doing like the
Plus, it's the Jets. It's the Jets and the Browns. No, thank you. We'll pass that. But the Marlins are playing the Reds, so it's about 4 hours away from Canton, and then
we have a lot of driving
the Guardians, really the Indians,
the
Guardians are playing the White Sox that weekend as well. So if you want to catch the baseball,
it's an hour. It's an hour north of Canton, Cleveland.
Yeah, gotcha. Father, since we have you on the show, before we let you go, obviously you are also a huge Canes fan. You came to my office earlier this week, and you're like, I had the weirdest dream that the Canes, he came to my office. He goes, Ash, I had the weirdest dream that the Canes made it to the Final Four. I said, oh my heavens, Father, I had the same dream too. Yeah,
never would have thought it.
What are you thinking Saturday? Honestly, we play UConn. I did not tell you, but I told him 3 of their players are Muslim, and it is Ramadan.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
so
that's happened before in sports. In basketball, and I think in football it happened once. They're used to that. That to me isn't a problem. UConn is the best team in the tournament right now, or what's left of the tournament.
Interesting.
They have blown everybody out. Now, having said that, I had no idea how they were going to beat Houston. They did that. I had no idea how they were going to beat Texas, and they're going to do that. It's just, let's see what happens. It's going to be a great game. The reason why I still can't believe we made the Final Four is that, this team, I was a little kid when it was resurrected in 1985. We played games in the James L. Knight Center, which is a concert hall. And then we played in the Miami Arena before moving to what's now that was called the Convocation Center, back then the Watsco Center. And it was just, let's tread water and, hopefully make the tournament. But every year we watch the tournament, the Canes weren't part of it. But now, after this, we should expect to be in the tournament every year and to make a deep run into the tournament every year. I would hope so. But it wouldn't surprise me because this tournament has been so crazy. Any of the 4 teams could win the national championship.
That's so true.
And I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
So the FAU coach came right before we went live. FAU coach
Justin May
just announced that he is coming back to FAU no matter what happens.
It's reported. It's not official yet, but That's a big deal. I mean, FAU,
is.
Boca Raton. You're talking about a
It's
campus.
Boca though. Hello.
I understand. Maybe he has a really nice house there. And
He
he's happy
probably
there.
does.
But at the
Nice.
end of the day,
It's
let's
nice.
be real.
Really good bagels and pizza.
They're playing in an arena, and it's an arena barely. If it's 2,900 people capacity.
We checked.
You
Yeah.
know,
I'm
so
saying,
the
somebody
likelihood of him returning back to the Final Four is going to be very difficult to do. So
No, like,
kudos
think
to
of
him,
the-
he's going to stay there.
Think of the long shots that have made it to the Final Four in the last 20 years. George Mason, VCU, Wichita State.
Yeah, we had Joey on the show.
Didn't move the needle on them. Miami has the advantage on NIL, plays in the ACC. I mean, yeah, what Mark is saying, any team can win this. So
Yes.
it wouldn't surprise me. UConn, even though I believe the Canes can win the game, but if I was looking at this objectively, I
Yeah.
think UConn cuts down the Nets on Monday night because they are playing so out of their minds right now.
What about on the other side? San Diego and FAU.
That's a coin flip. I mean, that one, San Diego State, if they don't capitalize now and make the jump to the Pac-12, I don't know what they're thinking in that school. Okay, they're playing the Mountain West. Pac-12 is losing USC and UCLA. You guys were saying it before I came on. I was in the waiting room that Tony Gwynn played there and Kawhi Leonard played there. They had Marshall Faulk played there.
Right.
Football in the early 90s. UM played them several times.
Yes.
They came here. We went out to the West Coast, and those are good football teams, good football games. So I don't know where I don't know where they're playing their football games because the old Charger Stadium is gone. I think they were playing their football games in the LA Galaxy Stadium,
The soccer.
where the Chargers played when they first moved to LA, which is crazy.
It's not
So I
terrible.
mean, just build them a football stadium there in San Diego. But if they don't move to the Pac-12, I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, no, they definitely got to make that move. I think it's ridiculous that UCLA and USC are going to the Big Ten.
Yeah,
I think that's so weird.
They mentioned that I think it was the San Diego State coach that I don't know. He doesn't know how they're going to do just the basketball teams having to travel, let's say, from LA to Piscataway to play Rutgers.
No,
I mean,
you know Piscataway. You just went there.
I do, but I'll do you one better. What about the start times? How are you going to sell to a Midwest market a game that's supposed to start at 7:00 locally, and now it's start 4:00 out there? I don't know how to do that.
But let's say that Rutgers is playing UCLA. You're going to start the games in Poly Pavilion at 10:00 for the fans out in Rutgers.
You can't do that.
In
I mean,
Jersey.
it's a money move, but geographically, it makes no sense because
At all.
I mean, these kids have to travel across the country and then travel back. Listen, as someone who traveled with a team, I didn't play and I was exhausted. Okay, this is football. These guys are hitting each other for 3.5 hours. And then they shower, they get on a bus, and then they go straight to the airplane and fly directly back. They don't go to the hotel to rest. They go directly back home. So I don't know how this is going to be done, how these players, and these are charter jets of professional teams. Not every school has a charter jet.
Nope.
I don't know how these schools are going to do it. Now, they have money. These programs, if they're in the Big Ten, if they're in the SEC, let's not mince words. Those are the two power conference. There's no Power 5. There's no Power 6. There's a Power 2. And my thinking, I've said this before, UM needs to jump ship and go to the Big Ten. Not the SEC. Notice I didn't say the SEC.
Why not? Why did you say the
Because
SEC?
Florida would never allow it.
Huh.
Florida would never allow Florida State or UM. So you don't think the Big Ten, if they already got a footprint in California, you don't think they want a footprint in the state of Florida?
Of course.
I mean, the thing is,
wise alone.
the TV rights are going to be the problem. So going back to the Final Four, I mean, I pray the Canes win on, and they obviously, it depends on our guard play. It really does. It
So you're
depends on
saying
our
it
guard
ends. You're saying it ends on Saturday for our beloved Canes.
I mean, no, I don't think it. I mean, I think I'm praying that it ends on Monday and hearing one shining moment. I mean, because I mean, that would be the most inconceivable thing. Because every year I see that. It's a wonderful montage. They do it every year on CBS.
The best.
It's great.
Can you imagine if they would? They're gonna have to shut down the city. For those who know, we work. Father Manny and I work in the city, Coral Gables, where the University of Miami is at. Our city.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know how it would affect because when the Heat make it to the finals and they win the finals, yeah, everybody goes nuts in the city of Miami.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The city would allow it. You can't even paint your house certain colors in the city. Never mind. I take that back. I take that back.
I can't see, the city going crazy. Maybe around campus, they'll be, they had a great crowd.
The Billboard's not going to allow any partying over there. We won't be able to go
Now,
party.
if you on football would have won, yes, but basketball doesn't register. Maybe we'll start now. They did have an uptick towards the end of the game. Somebody can't stand one shiny.
Mark,
That's our Bills fan. That's our Bills fan. He's being salty.
Mark,
He's being
explain that.
salty. He's being salty.
How could you?
Wow.
It's Luther Vandross has a soulful voice. Greatest moments of the tournament.
Oh,
The
my
captain, the cheerleaders' reaction, the mascots, the players, everybody. How
Yes.
could you not like it?
Oh my goodness.
It
Well,
is-
I
it
sure
is-
hope the
it's one of
Canes
the-
can do it. That would be
It's one
a
of the
great.
hallmarks of the NCAA tournament. How could you not like it?
Oh my goodness. Well, I
Yeah.
sure hope the Canes can win on Saturday. I would love.
There it is.
he does it all the time in shows, and I'm like, no.
It's the best.
I have it on my phone. It's an amazing. They used to play like a prelude to it, like it was all piano.
Yes.
While they were showing the people cutting down the nets, and they don't do that anymore because they would show all the credits of all the people.
What's worse than that is the CBS pre-song, the prelude to a championship.
Yeah, that I agree with Mark. Because the game starts too late. It starts at
Mark.
9:20. These
Oh
are
my
college kids. They need to go to bed.
No, Mark's a faithful viewer of the show. We're actually an international show. We have viewers in the UK, and then we have a big following from California, from South Carolina.
Philly.
But Mark is and Philly as well. We don't really have any viewers from Miami. Our viewers are all like
We're gonna work
international
on
stuff.
that.
I know everyone knows what's going on. Anyways, Father, let them know. Let our viewers know and our friends know about your podcast and where can they find you.
Oh yeah, Ashley gets it on all the time. So podcast drops every Monday morning. It's called Monday Morning Homilies. It's basically second guessing everything I did during my sermon the day before. So and then after we do that and we get into the Word of God and go over what we talked about last Sunday, we go into sports in the second segment. And Ashley comes on every now and then when I call her out from the office. So that drops usually around 11 a.m. every Monday morning. And obviously next week is Holy Week, so Palm Sunday's on Sunday, and then Easter Sunday's a week away. So happy Holy Week to everybody! And
So guys,
thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on his show, Monday Morning Homilies. I'll give a tweet and a shout out for that. But be sure to give him a follow. And it was a rough Marlins game. We'll sleep it off, and tomorrow's a new day. So
There you go. All right, I'll see you tomorrow.
I'll see you mañana.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
He really doesn't think the Canes are going to be there on Monday. Oh my goodness! Like I was not expecting that. I thought for sure he's going to say it.
Look, he's being honest, and
I
that's
know.
you got to respect that. Look, the reality is,
Will your brother say that?
we were talking. Well, I'll tell you what my brother has. You ripped up your bracket, but
You
my
gave me your
brother actually has. Can you point to it?
I can't say.
He's
I
got-
broke my nails tonight. I don't want to point. Let me point with my
He's got
thumb.
UM, where is it?
UM.
and in Connecticut,
Yeah.
and he's got Connecticut winning the whole thing.
Oh wow!
But
So he's still in it.
my brother is a
Wait,
UM.
let me rip it. I can't rip it. It's
No,
still
he's
good.
still in it. My brother is a UM alum, and
Yeah.
he wants to lose his bracket because he's got Connecticut winning the whole thing. So
He doesn't
he-
care about the money.
yeah, but
I
look,
know.
he was being honest, and he's a UM alum. Connecticut, like I said, has been to 6 Final Fours. They've
Yeah.
won 4 championships. They have the pedigree. Plus, as Father Manny alluded to,
Yeah.
they've destroyed all their opponents that they've played so far.
Yeah.
Not one game has been close.
Gotcha.
UM, had some battles with the 2 teams from Texas and Houston and Texas,
Mhm.
ironically enough, to get to Houston. But those were tough games. Those were nail-biting games that they had to come back for. The last one, Connecticut hasn't had to do that, so
Yeah.
they should be the favorite. And I hope it's not the case, but no one can be surprised. Everybody's going to pick them.
Yeah.
To cut down the nets.
Real quick, I just want to give a shout out to our good friend Russ. Russ's birthday's coming up July 10th, or I'm sorry, June 10th. One thing I recently learned about Russ is every year for his birthday, he does something where he gives back to the community. One year he gave back teddy bears to the
That's
police
awesome.
department and everything. So this year, Russ is asking for Hot Wheels cars.
Oh, nice.
And he's going to be donating the Hot Wheels cars to the pediatric center, like a pediatric hospital in the Philadelphia area. So, Ruff, on behalf of 305 Sports Babe and Bad Calls, Balls, and Brawls, and Miami Lou, we are going to be sending a donation via
Yes.
Amazon to you
Love it.
to make sure that you can get those Hot Wheels to where they need to be. So, happy early birthday. But before that, happy really early birthday to Graham, who we just missed his birthday. But guys, if you can, please get in contact with our friend Russ. If you can donate any Hot Wheels, that will be getting donated to the Pediatric Center in Philadelphia. You have our support. You will be getting a donation of Hot Wheels. I wish I could put Lou on a Hot Wheel and send them up there as well, but that will be coming your way.
I love Hot Wheels. And now look, Father just mentioned it. Holy Week coming up. And without getting too religious over it, it's important to have faith, and it's important to give back, especially during this time. You should always give back and be a good person in general, but it's all the more meaningful and all the more magnified now during this time of the year. So that's great what Russ is doing. We fully support it. And yes, you will be getting a good order of Hot Wheels.
I already looked.
I'm going to keep some, though. Whatever she ends up getting, I always take one out and say, wow, that's a real cool one.
No,
I'm going to keep
toys.
that one. I like toys. Sorry.
We behaved that whole first 30 minutes with Father. Now that is going to say.
No, I like Hot Wheel toys. What can I tell you?
Okay, got it. But no, so really quick, going back to the Marlins. Guys, it was not an ideal opening day, but then again, it's the Marlins. A lot of things happened in the stadium. Honestly, the Mets fans didn't hackle us, right? Like, you got to remember, Edwin Diaz, their closer, their ace closer, is like done for the year. So that's a blow to them. But they are a cursed team, and they haven't won in like a million years. So
1986 was the last time.
Yeah, it wasn't even alive yet. I mean, it's been
a while. It's been a while. They went to the World Series, I think, in 2014, I want to say, against the Royals, and they lost that one. But yeah, it's tough. But look, the Marlins division is tough, right? The Phillies, Russ's Phillies, they just ended up in the World Series last year. The Braves, they beat the Braves to get to the World Series. The Braves are a monster, and the Mets are a monster.
Nationals are the only one I'm not worried about.
Right. So the Marlins really can't afford to get off to a bad start. I know it's one game. There's 161 to go, but they can't start the season off 0-4 or 1-6. No. That's not going to work. No. They're already, up against it. They got to play better. Now, I will say this. They did make some moves. They traded one of their pitcher, which they have great pitching depth, to get the batting title winner in Luis Ariz. So that's a big move. He went 2 for 4 today, so he's already starting off his hit campaign early on. So that was a good move. And then, they got Johnny Cueto, who is past his prime, but he's a winning pitcher. He's been in World Series, has won big games, so that's a big deal. And look no further than what they did last year, or I should say didn't do. The Marlins lost 40. I'm going to repeat the number, 41. They had 41 run losses last year. 40. That's 40 games that they lost by 1 run.
Close games.
It doesn't get closer than 1-run game. So if they could flip that by half, they would be in the conversation of competing for one of the last wild card spots. And that's all you could ask. No one's coming out here and saying, oh, we're going to take it to the Braves and the Phillies and the Mets. I don't believe that for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I know you don't either. I know Father Manning doesn't believe that either. And he's a man that has probably seen miracles being worked. But this would be bigger than a miracle. Okay, the Marlins are not going to win the NL East.
Johnny Cueto still in the league?
Yeah, he is. But so look, if people, if they do what they can do, and they could flip that, that stat that I just gave you, they could be in competition for a wild card.
I think it's also important to talk about the new rules going on. When we were at the Marlins game, I get an alert. I get all the Red Sox. I get all the Red Sox alerts. I get all the Marlins alerts, and then I get all like general alerts. I'm not getting like alerts for like the Braves or anything, right? I care about the Marlins. I care about the Red Sox. So I get an alert, ESPN Red Sox. Rafael Devers, who is my favorite Red Sox player. I love Rafael for many reasons. The most important reason is that we share the same birthday.
Nice.
Dominican's another plus. But no, I mean, I just like Rafael. He signed a huge contact. Whatever. I'm not going to go, I love Rafael. Rafael, I don't know if I still have the exact alert. If I can say it how it is. Let me see if it's here. Okay, here it is. On my phone 3 hours ago. And I don't like to look at my phone during a game. Okay. I had to prep them up for it because this is crazy. Rafael Devers becomes the first batter called out for a pitch clock violation, and the announcers cannot believe it. Out of all the players in the league, you're talking hundreds, because there's hundreds on the bench, that farm league. My guy, my favorite player, Rafael Devers, is the first one, and there will be many more, gets called out because he took too long in the batter's box. You know what I think about that? Let me rip up my bracket more. That's what I think about that. I don't want the pitch clock. I don't want the batter's clock. Yes, the Marlins game was super quick today. We got in and out there. We were able to get home before, granted, it was a 4 o'clock game, whatever. But I didn't care if I was there another 40 minutes, 50 minutes. I was having a great time, great atmosphere. I'm sitting there watching baseball. I don't care about the pitcher's clock. I don't like it. Get rid of it. Mark, stop.
You're right.
I'm not. You knew it was coming. And it's going to come when I talk about the Heat too. So let me just finish this. Cool me down. Mark, what's your question as I rant off? No, so that got me mad. Second thing that I'm mad, Well, we didn't see it today, the Ghost Runner. I don't want to see it, Ghost Runner. Let it go to extra
It's
innings
back.
peacefully. Let it just happen. I don't need a little. I was going to say something very bad, but I always say whose fault is it, but I'm not going to say it. I don't want somebody on second for extra innings. If extra innings goes 13, 14 innings, let it be. Let it be. Also, last thing, bigger bases. I don't want anything bigger in my life except, dude, I don't know.
I don't know what you're going with this, but anyways, I look.
Breathe, Ash, breathe. Graham, thank you.
Yeah,
Graham
calm
is
down,
my spirit
calm down,
animal.
calm down,
Graham
calm
is
down.
my spirit animal.
Calm down. Look, to piggyback off what you're saying, I agree. I think anything that's changing the integrity of the game, and this is doing that, is just wrong. And this was just a out call. He was called out. It didn't decide a game. It's going to happen sooner or later during this year, where a game is decided on a ball being issued or a strike being called, and that's how a game's going to end. And as a fan, if you paid your hard-earned money to go watch a game, and now all of a sudden some trivial time rule is going to end the game,
stop the madness.
I think that's just horrible.
Oh my goodness.
And as far as the Ghost Runner, look, how much time you got? Because I've been at games that have gone 17, 18. I've been in a 22-inning game. And I love
it. But Darius agrees. I don't like the Ghost Runner either, and let's get the fan to cool down at, right? He don't like it either. No one likes it.
It's called free baseball. It's called keep on playing. It's the only game without a clock. Why are you trying to change it?
If we were at Marlins Park, Lone Depot Park for another 40 minutes tonight, you know what? So be it. I don't care.
And if you don't like it, you can leave.
Well, no one's keeping you there. Leave early. Beat the traffic.
No one is forcing you to watch these games.
Mark has a question for us. When baseball teams win the division, league, and World Series, they always have a champagne bath, which is very appropriate. Okay. Mark asked, should teams have a champagne bath when they get a wild card?
I don't think so. I mean, look, it's celebration. It's a long season. If you throw in spring training, you're talking about almost 200 games. So I get it. I'm going to say something else about that. And Mark, the wild card round should not be 3 games. I'm sorry. Okay. You pay 162 games. I don't want to see a 3-game series determine who moves on. I think that's wrong. And then the other thing is the way they have it set up is all those 3 games take place at one team's ballpark. Ridiculous. If you make the playoffs after 81 home games that you possibly have gone to, you deserve to have at least 1 or 2 of those games in your home park. So if you're playing all these games, then go ahead and make it a 5-game series like it should be. Okay. If you think the season's too long, bring the season back to 154 games. But there's no way these 3-game series are ridiculous.
Graham said the Yankee game was on in the UK this evening, and a batter got time violated at the Yankee game too.
Look at that.
So just wild, right? It's gonna be a long season. I just hope the Marlins get the one. Obviously, they're gonna lose a million more games, but whatever. It's opening day. There's always issues with Marlins opening day, but whatever. We'll be back there tomorrow, 6:40. 6:40 first pitch.
6:40 first pitch.
It is Teal Friday, so we're in the throwbacks, which I'm that's what I'm most excited for, right? Yep. I have a cute throwback shirt. I mean, it's another game, whatever. But since my pressure is high, I think it's very appropriate to let's just get into the Miami Heat.
Oh boy.
All right, let me since it's already high, let me just get right into it. Hold on, Sheldon Shimon. I think the pitch clock is going to mess up either a playoff or World Series. Oh, Sheldon. Oh, look at those marbles.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Can you imagine bottom ninth, 2 outs? And I believe it. And it may happen. Mark, I'll say it again. If baseball wants to do something for the fans, bring back doubleheaders. Amen to that as well. I love everybody. Oh my gosh.
You're being a little bit too bombastic today. But something wasn't even brought up. What? You can only call timeout if you're the batter once and the pitcher the same thing. A couple of years back between Cleveland and the Yankees, there was this crazy gathering of flies. Some kind of flies were all gnats were all over the pitcher's mound. So all of a sudden you waste your time out, and then some kind of a gnat or mosquito gets in your eye or flies up your nose, and you're supposed to just continue on with the at-bat. I mean, it's messing up the integrity of the game. And to Sheldon's point, if a World Series or even a playoff game for that matter is decided on a pitch clock violation or a ball violation by the batter, that's just wrong. It's wrong. It's cheating the fans.
Okay, so back to the Miami Heat. Since
Go ahead. So I'm sure that's going to make you feel better.
Lou and I have almost been together. We've been together a few years. And I love vacations, right? Just let me continue with this vibe.
Go ahead.
I love vacations. We travel a lot with our teams, but sometimes I just want a vacation on a beach in Disney, non-sport related. And the best time to do that for me is June, July. The past 3 years, Lou has not let me look into a trip June or July because why? Because that is possibility that the Miami Heat are in the playoffs during that time, right?
Not just the playoffs, the NBA Finals.
NBA Finals.
Hopefully.
So granted, last year, I brought up the idea. Lou said no, and thank God you were right because we ended up making it
Thank
to the
goodness,
East.
we'll say.
Thank goodness. God, no, God's in this
Okay, all right,
conversation.
come on, let's get it. Talk
Okay.
about the Heat. Go
Good.
ahead.
Because last year, the Miami Heat made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They made it to a Game 7 against the Boston Celtics.
And almost into the finals.
And they lost. So, granted, we could not have planned anything because in June, we would have had to cancel it because obviously we went those games.
Okay.
This year, however, the way that they're playing, even if they get into the playoffs or something, they're playing terrible, okay? We're blowing games. We're not being aggressive. We're missing shots. We're giving the ball up. I'm planning every vacation in May and June because you know what? The way that they're playing, they don't want to be in the playoffs. You don't want to be in the playoffs. Then don't stop my vacation. Kyle out. No. Please, I got to talk. I need to talk, and I'm going to be serious here. I'm laughing. You're laughing, but I got to say.
I'm not laughing. Go ahead. Go for it.
We are the same team we were last year, minus PJ Tucker. Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Strus, Duncan Robinson. We are the same. We are the same team as we were last year. We are the same team as we were last year, minus PJ Tucker. And I love PJ Tucker. PJ, I hope and pray you're doing great with the 76ers.
He's not. He's actually having a really bad
Okay,
anyway.
whatever. But I really like PJ Tucker. When he left, I was like, dang, right?
Okay.
Last year, Victor Oladipo was hurt, so I was kind of giving up on him. Kyle Lowry was a little overweight, lost the weight, everything. So this year, we were the same team on paper, right? We picked up a few new players too. We picked up Kevin Love, picked up Cody Zeller, here and there, few additions. The only one we really lost was Dwayne Dedman, right? Dwayne Dedman, my center. Dead man walking. Why are we falling apart in the second half of the season? Falling apart, shredding.
Okay,
shredding.
Take a second.
Shredding.
I'm going to answer your
shredding.
question.
Shredding.
Okay, calm down.
Shredding.
The problem has been the same problem the whole year. They just have not been consistent. They have had injuries, but more important than the injuries is that they have not been consistent. And all those players you just mentioned, whether it's Tyler Hero, whether it's Duncan Robinson for sure, whether it's Kyle Lowry, all the players have regressed. They have not gotten better. They have not improved. Their skills have diminished. And it's just not sustainable to repeat what you did last year with those kind of performances. And more importantly, the inconsistency that this team has had. They win 3, they lose 4. They win 5, they lose 6. It's been the whole year like this. So right now they're the 7th seed. With these horrible losses to the Nets and the Knicks specifically, these last 3 in a row, it looks like they're going to be the 7th seed, which means that they're going to have to play in this play-in tournament, which anything could happen there. So it's just.
I got another thing I need to say.
Go ahead.
Udonis Haslem has been on the team 20 plus years.
Yep.
Born and raised down here, went to Miami Beach High School. I could throw a rock right now to Miami Beach High School, right down the street, right?
Excuse me. He did not go to. He went to Miami High.
Miami High. Why did I say beach?
I don't know.
I don't know why
it's
I said
not Miami
beach.
Beach.
Okay, I can
Miami
throw
High.
a rock that way to Miami High, right?
A little bit further you got to throw it, but yes.
I got a good arm. I'll get a rock
Yeah,
there.
you do have a good arm. But you're going to have to throw it a couple times.
All
Not
right.
that close.
The guy is Mr. 305, right? He is Mr. 305. He's been on the team for 20 years. He's played on the same team his whole entire career.
Fun fact, keep going, but he is one of 3 players that have played
His
20
whole career.
years with the same team. Anybody in the room knows those other 2?
I know these. Stop.
No, I want to ask the room. Not you. You're too much right now.
Dirk Nowitzki.
That's one.
Oh, let's go.
And there's one more guy, very beloved guy, played his whole career with one team.
How did I get Dirk? That's amazing that I knew
Dirk
that.
Nowitzki is one.
Guys, come through in the chat.
It's not Duncan. It is Dirk Nowitzki 1, Udonis Haslem 2, and one other guy.
I don't know. Mark's
a very beloved guy.
Ladarius, Mr. Sports here got Dirk, but not Duncan.
Not Duncan.
And it's not Vince
If
Carter.
I give you a clue, he's no longer with us. Very beloved.
Larry Bird.
What? What are you talking about? Larry Bird. He's still very much alive, by the way. Larry Bird is very much Kobe Bryant. I cannot believe you just killed off Larry Bird. Oh my goodness.
I can't think right now. I have like birds.
Can we bring Father Manny back on the show so we can resurrect Larry Bird from the dead? Did you just say Larry Bird?
You thought Luke Carter II was dead. That's the worst thing you could have said to me. Luke Carter II is dead.
Have you seen Luke Carter II?
I have seen Luke Carter II.
He looks like he's being propped up. Yeah.
Okay, I messed up. Larry Bird's alive.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Thank
Father,
you,
Son,
Mark.
Holy Spirit,
Oh,
Larry
my
Bird.
goodness.
Larry Bird, you're alive. And
Wow.
well, I'm more dead than he is. But Lou said Luke Carter II was dead during St. John's basketball. I said, no, he's not. So if anything
Wow.
happens, it's your fault. You're wearing sweaters for the whole season next year.
Larry Bird is alive. Just want to.
It's Kobe and Dirk. I got one. Ladarius got one.
So yeah, Kobe, Udonis, and Dirk Nowitzki. Go ahead.
Okay,
What's-
Ashley, you've had too much sun today. No, I worked today and it rained all day. The Marlins got my pressure really, really high, and the Heat.
Graham, you're right, man.
That's not Graham. That's Mark.
No, but Graham just said that your rage just.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
goodness.
did not know. If heaven forbid, if anything happens to Larry Bird.
No, he's very much alive. He's flapping his wings as we talk.
Breaking news: Larry Bird is okay.
Yes, thank you, Ladarius. He is fine. Larry Bird is the man, by the way, too. Larry Bird can get shots. He can pass. He can do it all.
How old is Larry Bird?
Larry Bird is in his early 60s. He's very
Oh,
healthy.
okay.
I believe he lives in Naples, right? He's just living his
How
life
old
in
is Larry
Naples.
Bird?
Early 60s. 63, something like that. Very young, still very healthy. Could probably still get
Siri's
buckets.
not even listening to me. Siri's mad at me.
Yeah.
Siri, how old is Larry Bird?
All right, well, you asked.
Larry Bird is 66 years old.
66. He's
66.
very healthy, very young, 66
Okay.
years old.
All right. So,
So,
point of
yes.
story is UD, along with Kobe
And Dirk.
and Dirk. UD has played his whole entire life with the Heat, 20 years, longer than I've been a fan.
Yep.
I mean, amazing. Udonis Haslam, I had the opportunity to meet him earlier this season. Could not have been nicer. We actually met him in the Garden. Treated you
Nice.
like he knew you forever. Awesome, awesome, awesome guy. So Udonis Haslam early in the season announced that this will be his last season no
That's
matter
right.
what happens. He's not going to pull a Tom Brady. I promise you guys, like this will be his last season with the Heat. Now, moving forward, will he pick up a job coaching? I would not put it past him. Something with team, whatever. But this is his last year putting on a Heat jersey, playing.
Yep.
Last week on Wednesday, it was Saturday. Saturday.
Are you okay?
No.
All right,
They
it
had
was Saturday.
Udonis Haslam night, Udonis Haslam appreciation night
Yep.
at the Miami Dade Arena, because that's a whole nother story. I'm not even gonna get into what it's called. And so we bought new Udonis Haslam stuff. The store had a great
Mhm.
selection of stuff. That night, the Heat played so bad, we lost 30 points, not 10, not 20. We lost 30 points.
We lost by 30 points.
Lost by 30 points against Brooklyn, to the point where Udonis Haslam couldn't even play 5 seconds on his night.
Yeah.
Unacceptable. Man put 20 years of his life, pretty much longer than Tyler Hero has been alive, and you can't get it together one night
Yeah.
for him to play 5 seconds, for us to go on our feet, stand up, Udonis, love you, put the U and everything. Unacceptable.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to cut you off. We've already talked about the Heat. Let's get out on the NBA basketball.
First thing I have to do when I wake up this morning is to check on Larry Bird
Yeah,
now.
please do.
Mm.
So let's get out on the NBA on a good note. Speaking of Dirk Nowitzki, it's going to be announced on Saturday. It'll be made official, but reports have already leaked out that 3 big stars, 2 of them coaches and 2 of them NBA legends, one of them Dirk Nowitzki, the other one
Dwayne Wade, we're
is
not
coach
just-
is. Can I?
Go
I'll
ahead.
try to
Go ahead.
talk
Go
here.
ahead.
The other one is Coach Greg Popovich, who is a 5-time NBA winner, championship coach. And then, of course, locally here, Miami Heat legend, 3-time NBA
NBA
Finals
champion.
champion and a former MVP of the NBA Finals, Dwayne Wade, is also expected to be announced into the Hall of Fame on Saturday officially.
Yeah.
So let's go out on that note. I wish we could say better news about the Panthers, but they are currently in 9th place, and they are 1 point behind the Pittsburgh Penguins. So locally, our hockey team is also, I guess, emulating our basketball team.
Emulating?
Yeah, that's what
I
it's
don't
called.
even know what that is.
So they're pretty much just like, also
blowing
treading.
crap up.
I'd say treading water, but they play on ice, so they are
That's funny.
they are melting ice right now because they are, on the outside of the playoffs, looking in right now. So hopefully they can turn it around. What else you got?
How much time you guys got, man? I have nothing.
For those of you who are still also NFL fans in the room, I know we got a big group of Dolphin fans and a Bills fan in there and an Eagles fan.
we got everybody in
we
there.
we are still on Aaron Rodgers.
We're
Aaron
going weapon
Rodgers.
hunting.
Aaron Rodgers is
Don't hit
still.
me underneath the table.
Aaron Rodgers is still not announced, or the Jets, I guess, have not announced if he will be in fact traded to New York.
He's not going to happen. He's going weapon hunting.
Well, we'll see what ends up happening there. But Rodgers right now is still a member of the Packers. Who knows when that's going to change? And also, a big news came out of the Baltimore Raisins, as I like to call them sometimes.
That's old. That's
but
old news.
Lamar Jackson pretty much asked for a trade.
You don't want to be there.
He mentioned that
Can't
on
blame him.
Monday they're having the NFL convention going on with all the teams, and Lamar Jackson pretty much said that he requested a trade away from the Ravens.
Yeah.
So let's see what happens there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What else you got? Is that
No, yeah. If we're gonna end the show, I want to just end it with, obviously, Saturday is a huge day
huge
for
Canes
for
and
South
FAU?
Florida college sports. As we mentioned at the top of the show, both campuses from Coral Gables to Boca Raton, 46 miles, very close.
We
And-
love both cities.
And both those campuses next year, regardless of what happens on Saturday, they will both be hanging up a Final Four banner in their gym.
That's awesome.
That's a big deal. I mean, Sweet 16, a lot of teams can hang that up. A lot of universities can put that up. An Elite Eight, very rewarding, a great big deal. But a lot of teams have held up an Elite Eight banner. But to put up a Final Four banner in your gym, it means that your program has arrived. And, again, Boca Raton and Coral Gables, those two gyms will have a
That's
Final
awesome.
Four banner next year. That's a huge deal. No matter what happens Saturday, that's a huge deal. But if it does go the right way, you're looking at an even bigger story, which is an all South Florida final. That would be amazing on Monday night to watch.
The word was emulating.
That's what I said.
I don't know what you said.
Well, I didn't say omelet, that's for sure. I said
because we have no eggs. That's why.
I did say that. I said emulate.
Sheldon, I can't wait till it's done either. It's going to be the Jets.
Bring them on. Come on.
We're ready
We
for
already
it.
saw this with Brett Favre when he came down from the Packers. And we took
Oh
care
my
of business.
goodness. So guys, anyways, on Saturday, obviously the two big games, Final Four, FAU, San Diego State. Then we have our Miami Hurricanes versus UConn, Big East school. I see them plenty of times a year.
They actually were rivals in the old Big East. Or not
St. John's and
your,
UConn.
No, not your time, but
Your time.
the Big East, the early 90s, was in the Big East, and they had some great battles. Ray Allen, going back to Donnie Marshall, Constantine Popa, a lot of UConn battles in the Big East. So it's ironic that that's their first Final Four opponent.
It'll be interesting. Now, I'm
It'll be
really
fun.
excited to watch that. I don't know what we're going to watch on Sunday. There's nothing going on Sunday now.
Yeah, and then also you broke the news that Dustin May, the FAU coach, as
He's
we were
gonna
coming on to the show, it's being reported that he is going to stay. Which no coach that takes it happened last year with St. Peter's. Shaheen Holloway he ended up going back to Seton Hall where he played. But again, when these coaches,
it's not a far drive,
when they
20 minutes away.
take a mid-major, and in this case even below a mid-major program to the Final Four, that's their cue to get out. They'll take that payday and they'll get out of there. So the fact that he's willing to stay at FAU, Boca Raton,
he's staying in Boca Raton, Florida.
I know, but it's a small-time program with
sometimes it's not
a
about the job.
capacity.
You live in Boca Raton.
I know, but it's a capacity.
Man.
You're limited in your resources.
Of course.
So it's a big story. It's a very if it's true, that's a tremendous testament to him that he's going to stay on board. So Dustin May, if you're on board and staying there, that's great, man.
Even
It's a big
Fairleigh
story.
Dickinson coach, he, as soon as their Cinderella story was over, he picked up ship and took Iona's position, Rick Pitino. So you are right. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
So anyways, guys, it has been fun. It has been stressful. I apologize for my rant, but I just have so much this is what sports does to me, right? It's a blessing and a curse because obviously you guys know I love sports and it's such a big part of my life. And I'm so grateful for everything it has done for me. But when things don't go well, I take it bad. And you do too.
No doubt.
And so when the Marlins open up like they did, and not even just the Marlins, it's like the whole atmosphere. And then just to see the Heat just down plummet compared to where they were last year. And I love the Heat so much, right? I don't want to get into details, but that team is my soul, right? I love the Miami Heat. They're so much to me. And to see them not succeed the way that I know they could and they should, it's disappointing, right? I'm not crying. I'm just trying to get my thoughts together and I'm almost crying. So it's just, I have so much frustration and, obviously I'm really excited for the Canes. I don't hate the Canes. I never hated them. Obviously you guys know St. John's is my heart and soul, but I love the Canes. I have nothing against them and I wish them best. And to have FAU's, this is an awesome thing. So it's so much positive going on, but then you take the Heat and the Marlins and it's just like a pa. So everything's just wild right now.
I would just say this, just to follow up on that. Everything, look, last year the Heat had an incredible run, right? They almost got to the finals. And this year the Canes are having the run to the finals. I know we got a lot of Dolphin fans in the room. We even got a Bills fan in the room. Bills have never won It feels like the Dolphins have never won as long as it's been. So it's these cycles in sports, and that's what makes it so rewarding, and also makes it hurt so much.
Yeah.
But even the Yankees, for example, that have won, I believe, 27 or 28 World Series
27.
championships, they've been playing for 100 years. So in the grand scheme of things, they've lost way more than they won. The Heat, this is their 35th year, right? They got 3 titles. They've definitely lost a lot more than they've won.
Yeah.
But when they win, it's euphoric, right? You enjoy it so much, and when they lose, you take it to heart. So
Mark said you two are so happy with each other. Are you happy?
I don't know if I'm going to pick you in my Final Four, but I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You wouldn't pick me in your Final Four.
That was a joke. It was a college basketball joke. Sorry.
You wouldn't even be in my March Madness tournament.
Oh, okay. I'll be in the playing game.
You wouldn't even make the playoff game. Oh my God. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna head out of here.
I do want to also, 2 shows ago, and actually his name came up in one of the NCAA tournament games. Joey Rodriguez, talking about FAU and even San Diego State to an extent. These small schools making this run, not the previous show, but 2 shows before. He gives a great recap of the amazing run that he had with VCU. So if you want to kind of relive what's going on with FAU and the little small team that made it all the way to the dance, he gives a great recap in that show about what he experienced going through March and getting to the Final Four. So I highly encourage you to check it out. And also, if you're catching this for the first time or you're going to see this later on, please make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Oh, you never see that. So nice of you.
Like the channel. We do our best. We're trying to get more guests on and try to be informative. You entertain the hell out of us, and we try to, give it back to you guys. So please, it goes a long way if you guys could subscribe to that channel, like the channel.
I think we have over 600 subscribers.
Well, we need some more. We want to try to,
grow the show.
Grow the show and try to get entertaining, people on that have a sports background that we can obviously engage with with the people in the room who we love so much and get you guys some good guests.
Graham has some positive notes for us on an end note. And on a happy note, I want to do. Can you read this in a British accent?
No. My voice is.
And on a happy note, with the Sacramento Kings and in their playoff drought, the Jets are now the team with the longest playoff drought in all of NFL,
I love it.
NBA, MLB, and NHL.
Leave it to the birthday boy to drop that. That is fantastic. I actually did a joke about that during the Super Bowl. Rihanna has a song called Wild Thoughts. And in that song, she says something about, she rhymes a line in that song with "Beat It Like the 68 Jets."
Yeah.
And my joke was that if she sings that part of the song in the Super Bowl, that would be the first time ever since 1968 that the Jets have been mentioned in the Super Bowl broadcast.
Gosh,
but she never sang it. So the Jets still have not been in the Super Bowl since 68. And now, thanks to Graham, we know that they are the losingest professional team in all of professional sports. NFL, MLB, NBA, and NHL. Jets, you guys are a bunch of losers. Sorry, that makes me feel better. I hope that makes you feel better.
Mark, let's talk NFL drafting. Yeah, so you'll have a special episode just for the draft, our picks, what we need as Dolphins around the league. We'll assess your team, Bills as well, kind of see where holes are around the league. Might have another round table with Bills, Jets, Patriots fan. So that will be coming. Don't you worry. We just had baseball stuff to talk about. All right, Graham, you guys are awesome. Always making me smile and laugh. Really proud of the three. Really feel you are. Oh my God, Graham, the first time I meet you, I think I might be bigger than you. I'm a big girl. I'm not that big, but I am bigger. I'm gonna squeeze the British out of you. Ladarius, I'd love to come on and chop it up. Yes, Ladarius also has his own show. He'd be great to have him on as well.
Absolutely.
To get him on the show as well. All right, I didn't eat dinner, so I'm turning into a hungry bear. But you ate. So, anyways, guys, it's been awesome. Thank you for
thanks, Father Manny, for joining us.
Thank you for Father Manny for coming on the show tonight. Be sure to follow his podcast, Monday Morning Homilist. First part is a sermon, so you get the word of God, and then second part, he jumps into sports. He does get angry just like me, so it's like you feel good because you just got the message from God, and then all of a sudden you hear sports.
And he knows his stuff. I mean, he knows he knows his history. He knows
he's a smart guy.
Everything about sports wise. So yeah, he's awesome.
He's good. All right, guys, it's been great. Let's go Canes. Go. Whoo, owls. And we will. Oh, it's 2:15. We got to go. Graham has to go to sleep. Good night, guys. That's it. Catch you later.
Good night, guys. Have a great rest of your week.
Sheldon, love you. Good night. Thank you. Go relax now. See you soon. Love you guys.
Have a great week ahead. Rest of your week. Great
weekend.
weekend.
Let's go.
Go Canes.
Ooh, don't you thought I was gonna kiss him. I was not trying to kiss you. It was
All
burped on his lips. Ew.
Oh,
All right. Ending on that note for sure.